You have a YouTube channel?
I do.
What is it?
NLP Gym.
That's cool, man.
Thanks.
You have a business card?
I do.
You the guy snapped a photo up down on Bourbon Street the other night?
Nope.
No? Did it turn out?
5 ways to use one NLP technique to change your life instantly. Stay tuned. This is Damon from NLP Gym. 5 applications for anchoring that can instantly change your life. If you haven't already, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. The first application is state management. Why would you leave a performance or something where you needed to be in an optimal peak state to chance? This is where anchoring can be extremely powerful. If you have a presentation to give, if you have a sporting event or anywhere where you need to be in a peak performance, state management through anchoring is extremely powerful and useful. So state management is the first application. It's very simple. You anchor the state that you want to be in a particular context and a particular situation, and you fire that anchor later when you're in that situation. Don't wait to try to put yourself in the state when you're in the situation, because you might already be nervous and it might be hard to get yourself into that state. Anchoring takes all of that out of it. You don't have to think about it. You anchor yourself before the situation, and then when you get into the situation, you fire the anchor, and then there you go. The second application of anchoring that can change your life is stacking anchors. That's when you stack multiple anchors in one place in your body. So you'd be stacking multiple states, anchoring those multiple states one at a time. Say on your arm would be a good place to do it, where you had good reach. You don't want to do it too far away. That would make it difficult to get to, and not some place that somebody might touch you often. So if you could take 3, maybe 5 states, you probably wouldn't want to do any more than 5 or 6. Anchor each state in one place, and then when you go to fire that anchor, you're going to have an experience of all multiple states. It's pretty amazing when this happens. Again, this is great for peak performances or places where you need to have a range of states, optimal states that are going to help you in the situation. High performance is really good for this. Situations where you need to perform in a second, or get up in front of a group of people, or any time you need to be in an optimal state with multiple states, multiple optimal states, stack anchors. The third application for anchoring that can change your life is chaining anchors. So once again, say I want to anchor it on my arm because it makes it easy. This is, instead of experiencing multiple states at one time, you can experience one state one after the other, and you can fire sort of like a chain reaction. So you can put multiple states anchored into your arm and then fire them one at a time through it. So you could start with one, and after you do this a few times, usually just by firing the first anchor, the rest of the anchors will go, and it'll bring you through a loop of states. Now, why would you want this rather than stacking anchors? Well, sometimes you need to go through a process to get yourself out of a situation where you're crashing. So maybe you need a transitional state. You can't jump from being in a crash state to being in the most optimal state. So you can anchor transitional states that will gently guide you out of the crash state into an optimal state where you can perform at peak performance in the optimal state that you want to be in. The fourth application for anchoring that can change your life instantly is collapsing anchors. I've done a whole video on this one, so I'll post that in the comments below so that you can access that video. It goes more in detail and you can see exactly how to do this. Basically, collapsing anchors is you actually anchor a non-resourceful state, and a non-resourceful state that you want to become more resourceful. So then you identify the resource that you want, and then you anchor that resource, and then you bring the two together. So for instance, if I anchored the non-resourceful state in my left hand, and I did that by making a fist, then I could anchor the resourceful state in my other hand by making a fist as well. Now, I could do it simply just by making a fist at the same time. You'd want to start with making the negative anchor first, then doing the positive anchor, and then releasing the negative anchor. Always release the negative anchor first, and then release the positive anchor. Now, there's many ways to do this. I like to bring the hands together and collapse them that way, and then continue to hold the positive anchor like that and let the left hand go down. There's another way you can do this where you can anchor yourself for the positive one, and then go back in your memory and associate into memories that were non-resourceful, that this resource would have been perfect for, that would have brought you out of that situation and brought your state back up. So you can hold that anchor and just remember non-resourceful states that this resource would have been perfect for. And and that's collapsing anchors. You can also use floor anchors. That makes it a lot easier if you have trouble anchoring yourself. I have a hard time anchoring myself. That's why I like to use floor anchors. You can do this with other people, of course, and to build those optimal states. This basically clears the pathway neurologically. When you walk into these situations where you would normally collapse or not have this resource, you will automatically have that resource because you've already collapsed it. Should you find that you are going back into that unresourceful place, you could always fire your anchor. The fifth anchoring application is actually using anchoring as a part of another technique, another process that is extremely powerful. That is the NLP reimprinting. I'm not going to go through the whole explanation of reimprinting. It's probably the most powerful NLP process that there is. It takes a while to do it, and you want to make sure that you have an experienced practitioner doing it. If you're having a coach do it with you, you want to make sure that they have some experience doing this. But basically, you use timeline to go back into the first memory of having some issue that later created a limiting belief. And when you discover that, then you find the resource that's needed to empower you in that situation and then create a new positive belief. And sometimes, and most of the time, that takes anchoring that resource and then bring it back into the timeline, and then holding that anchor, bringing yourself back up, growing back up through the timeline, holding that anchor and bringing that resource all the way through. Like I said, it's an extremely powerful process. Anchoring is used as part of reimprinting. It's still a necessary part of the application. In most cases, it is a necessary part of the application of reimprinting. And it makes it possible for you to bring that resource back into early childhood or whatever you experience this problem early on your timeline, and then bring it back through to your timeline, of course, up until present day, and then future pacing it out into the future. Check out our website, nlp-gem.com. Follow us on Facebook for real-time updates on upcoming workshops and free practice sessions that I hold in Santa Cruz, California. Remember to sign up for NLP Gem's Ultimate NLP Practitioner Training. This is a one-of-a-kind training. You don't want to miss this. If you want to master NLP, this is the best way to do it. You'll find it on our website. You can sign up there. Make sure you do it soon. Spots are limited. If you like this video, please click like right down here and leave a comment or even ask me a question. I will follow up with you. Stay tuned to the end of this video so you can see how you can get your hands on a free NLP online training. Take care.
You have a YouTube channel?
I do.
What is it?
NLP Gem.
That's cool, man.
Thanks.
You have a business card?
I do. NLP.
NLP Gym.
Yeah.
Is it like a local?
No, I'm in California.
Oh, okay. You travel all over the country and you do vlogs?
I do. I don't travel all over the country, but I do travel. I go to other countries too.
That's cool, man. You have a lot of followers?
Right now I think as of this morning, I have almost 400. They keep going up.
400,000.
No.
Oh, 400.
400, yeah.
Gotcha. I watch these bloggers who have like 8 million followers.
Oh, I know, it's crazy,
time, man.
It's great,
Like
man.
they make so much money.
They do.
That's cool beans, man. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
I own Oceana Grill around the corner. It's a restaurant. And usually whenever I see people with camera, I talk to them and see if they want to come eat and feature the restaurant, on their vlog or anything they have.
Okay, maybe I will.
Yeah, check it out, man. We have good food.
You're on this street right here?
Well, actually, yes. We're steps off of Bourbon. It's on Bourbon and Conti.
And Oceana?
C-O-N-T-I, yes. Oceana.
So
Ocean with an A.
It's
Oceana.
like seafood?
It's a Cajun and Creole cuisine.
Okay.
Gumbo, jambalaya. We're known for our grilled oysters and our crab cakes.
All right, I'm originally from here, so.
Are you?
Yeah.
What part?
Morgan City.
Okay.
I lived here for 7 years, so.
Cool beans, man. Cool beans. Well, good luck to you with
Thank
the
you.
channel and
All
everything.
right.
Nice talking to you.
You too.